Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amy and I am on a financial freedom journey with my family. I share all about that and more on my channel. And this is the more on my channel because this video is not really related to finance or anything like that. It's actually related to working from home and my walking pad that I just got in September. So I wanted to film a quick video giving you guys a review and just my first thoughts on my walking pad after having it for a month. I will link the exact walking pad that I have down below for you guys. I will also link a couple of other ones that I looked at but ended up not purchasing in the description as well, because the walking pad that I got is really popular and does sometimes sell out. So I will list a couple of other options that I almost purchased because I did a lot of research on walking pads. It was kind of ridiculous. Like, I spent weeks researching, seeing what the best ones were, like different like stride length. I'm pretty tall. I'm 5'8". Oh, I think I'm 5'9". I don't know. I'm 5'8", 5'9"-ish. And so I'm pretty tall. And so I need like a good stride length and that kind of thing. So those things were important to me. And yeah, so I did a lot of research on walking pads. And so I will link a few other options in case the exact one that I got wasn't available, but the one that I got is amazing. I absolutely love it. I figured I would just give you guys a short like review, the pros and cons of using a walking pad while you're working, and kind of just my first month thoughts on how much I like it, if I have any regrets about the one that I purchased or anything I would do differently if I purchased another one. I also did a Q&A on my Instagram where I got a lot of questions and I forgot to screenshot them. But I did read them all, so I think I remember the majority of them. So I'm gonna kind of ad-lib the Q&A because, again, I completely failed and forgot to screenshot it before my 24 hours was up on my story, and yeah. But I did read all of them, so I think I remember them. We'll see how good my memory is, I guess. So first thing I kind of wanted to get into is why I decided to get a walking pad. So I primarily work from home about 3 days a week right now. I work from home, and I was just finding that I was so sedentary during the day, especially when I was working at home. I just wasn't like getting up from my desk. I was just sitting there all day. And at the end of the day, I would have like 3,000 steps. I mean, that is like insane to me. And I really wanted a way to get more movement in my day. We do have a Peloton bike as well, and that's really helpful for me to get activity in throughout the day. But I also just wanted to walk more. And I live in Wisconsin, so our weather in the winter especially is not great for walking outdoors. And also my work schedule doesn't always allow me to take breaks during the day or take long breaks enough that I can step away from my desk for, 30 minutes to an hour to go on a walk outside and then come back. So I wanted to find a way that I could multitask and get exercise in at the same time, and walking pads seem to be the answer. I have been following people on TikTok that use walking pads, and I was skeptical at first because I wasn't sure if it would work for me. I feel like I can get really easily distracted, and so I was worried that getting a walking pad, I would like walk, but then I wouldn't be able to focus on my work. And that has actually been the opposite of what has happened. So I purchased my walking pad in the beginning of September, and I purchased a few items to go with it. So I will link my whole setup down in the description box if you guys want to check it out. This is actually my standing desk converter. Sorry, I'm like sitting next to the place that I have my desk set up. So I purchased the walking pad, the standing desk converter, and then I also got a new keyboard because I wanted like a separate keyboard. I was previously just using my laptop keyboard because I have a like separate wireless keyboard at my office, but I never had one for my house. So I purchased a new keyboard and mouse, and then I also have like a little fan that I use with the walking pad because like you can break a sweat, okay? Like it is kind of intense at the end. So I typically walk for like anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. And by the end of the hour, like I am like sweaty. Like it is an actual workout. I walk really slow though, so it's not like, intense. I'm not like pouring sweat, but you guys know what I mean. Like I'm working up a little bit of a sweat. So that was all that I purchased. I did spend a few $100s on all the accessories and the walking pad itself. And I was skeptical, I am obviously a budgeting channel. And so it was hard for me to, sit down and spend that money on something, but I figured this is something that will be for my health and my wellness. And so it's worth it to me to spend the money. So I got it in the beginning of September. I posted a reel on my Instagram actually of me unboxing it. So if you guys want to check that reel out, I always have my link to my Instagram down below. So if you guys want to check that out of just me unboxing it, but like spoiler alert, it's so easy. Like it literally came in a box. I just undid the box and took it out. Like there was no setup. You just have to plug it into the wall. So it was super easy, plug and walk basically. And then I actually went through a couple of different standing desk converters. I did not really talk about that on Instagram, but I actually bought one before I bought this one, and I ended up returning it because it wasn't exactly what I wanted. I wanted something that was pretty sturdy, like so that I could type and walk and not feel like it was gonna like fall over. So the first one I bought was a dud, did not like it. It was cheap, and I should have just spent a little bit more money and gotten the nicer one in the beginning because I ended up just returning that one and buying the more expensive one anyway. This is like a really good quality. Like you guys can see, like it is, I mean, I'm like really pushing on it and it's like a little bit moving, but it is like sturdy on here. It is not going anywhere. It's super easy to get up and down, and it's also really easy to move. So if you guys can see, this is not my office. This is actually my dining room. And when I work from home, I typically work at my dining table instead of my office. I know that's kind of weird, but I just kind of like to be like in the middle of the house, like where I can see the living room and the kitchen and like kind of just be in the middle. And so I actually move my standing desk and my walking pad out here every day that I work from home, and I store it in the office. And sometimes I do work in the office, but like I said, I just prefer to work out here. So that was one of the questions actually, was like, is it easy to move around? The walking pad itself is really easy to move around. It is on rollers. So like you tip it up and then you can just move it, and it's super easy to move. It's not like super heavy. I can do it all by myself. I can also move my standing desk converter pretty easily. It's a little bit like wide, but it's not like super heavy. So I pick this up and I move it every single day that I work from home. It's super fast. I just move it all out here and then I get going. I will insert some footage of me walking on the walking pad over some of this audio so that you guys can actually see like what it looks like when I'm actually working. This is footage that I actually took while I was working, like for real, like typing emails and everything. Like this is actual working footage of me on it. And yeah, I have absolutely loved it. Another question that I got was like, how are you able to focus and walk? Like I feel like I would get distracted, which as I talked about before, this is definitely a concern that I had too, because like I said, I get really distracted, but honestly, you forget that you're walking. It is like the craziest thing. If you guys have a walking pad, let me know if you've had the same experience, but after a while, I literally forget that I'm walking. I get so absorbed in like the work that I'm doing. And like, I usually am like listening to something like a podcast, or if I'm listening to something for work or like a call or something, I am like listening to something, I'm doing something, and I'm walking. And so honestly, a lot of times I don't even realize I'm walking anymore. I have literally walked for like an hour on this thing and not even realized that an hour passed. Like the time just flies by. It's so crazy. And it's been so amazing. So in the month of September, I think I put about 30 miles on the walking pad. I walk typically every single day that I work from home. I walk at least an hour. I try to aim for like an hour and a half plus, but some days that's just not possible. So one of the things, the cons about having the walking pad is that, in my opinion, you can't really use it when you're like speaking or on video, because you can definitely see like the like moving up and down. So I know some people do actually use it on calls. And if you have like a more like casual workplace, I could definitely see how that could work. But I don't use it when I'm on a video call or when I have to talk a lot. If I'm on a call where I'm not on video and I'm just listening, I do use it. Like I use it and have no problems. Even a call where I have to like occasionally talk, I still use it. But like primarily if I'm on like video or something, I use my actual desk because I don't want to be distracting, like bouncing up and down on my walking pad. So that's kind of my like con. It's not really a con. It's just like a time where I don't use it. And also like if you are doing if you're like a graphic designer or like somebody who has really fine detail work with your mouse, I would say that this might not be the best thing for you, because it is a little bit hard to be precise with your mouse while you're moving your lower body. So I work in HR and I do a lot of spreadsheets and things like that. And I haven't had issues with doing it on the walking pad, except for the scenarios where I really need to be precise. Like I'm trying to copy something into like a really small area or something where I have to be like really precise. But otherwise, like typing emails, listening to things, even like doing writing in Word or Excel, like formulas and stuff, I have had no issues. And honestly, I think it actually makes me way more efficient at work. Like when I am on the walking pad, like I am getting stuff done. Okay. I am going through emails. I am flying through my inbox. I am responding to things. I am like on top of my game. Like there's something about like being active that it makes my brain like just awake. Like, it's so crazy. I thought it would be the opposite, but I'm so happy that it is actually me being more productive when I'm on the walking pad, because it is so great. And honestly, at the end of the day, when I've used my walking pad, I feel so energized. Like, I'm not groggy anymore. Like, I don't know if you guys can relate if you work in corporate America or if you work from home. Like, at the end of the days, sometimes I would be so exhausted and I'm like, what am I exhausted from? Like, I've been sitting at my desk all day. Like, how could I possibly be exhausted? And now I'm getting like 10,000 steps a day with barely any effort. And at the end of the day, I feel like more energized than I did in the beginning of the day because I'm being more active. And so overall, I would highly recommend a walking pad to anybody. I think I covered the majority of the questions in the video that you guys had in the comment box just by speaking about the walking pad. The most asked question I got was if I thought it was worth it. And I absolutely 100% think that it was worth it. I would 100 times buy it over again. And I am a very budget savvy and budget conscious person, but I definitely think it was worth it. I wish that I could buy one for my office too, because I seriously just love working from home so much because of my walking pad. Like, I dread going into the office and having to sit at my desk all day when I know that at home I have this opportunity to be active and also be getting my work done. So I would highly recommend it. I definitely think it was worth it. Anyways, that's all I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any specific questions regarding walking pads or anything like that, leave them in the comments down below. I would love to chat about those things with you. And also, if you have any tips or tricks with your own walking pad that you have, or any advice for anybody, definitely drop it in the comments down below. Again, I will link my exact walking pad and my whole setup with everything, my headset, my laptop, keyboard, everything. I will link it all down below for you guys if you want to check any of that out. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye, guys.